We are back tonight at beautiful Woodbine Mohawk Park in Campbellville, Ontario, where it is all Ontario Sire Stakes all the time. Grassroots Championships taking center stage tonight, and the OSS insignia, you see it when you walk in the door, all the way out to trackside, where you get a look there at the trophies they're going to be competing for tonight, the hardware, some other goodies as well. It's going to be a lot of fun for you tonight, and this evening we will crown 8 divisional championships in the Ontario Sire Stakes Grassroots division. Hi again, everybody. I'm Greg Blanchard. Pleased to be joined at trackside tonight by Robert Reed Jr., where, the weather tonight, it really doesn't feel like the end of September. It's a beautiful, warm, calm evening and a fast oval. In fact, we've already seen a lot of speed earlier on the card.
Yeah, we did. The opening dash on the card, Southside Eddie, 47-4. Incredible speed in the opening dash. And, trained by Carmes Osiello, driven by Sylvain Filion, and an easy winner, of course, going that quick of a mile. But kind of sets the tone for the night, right? We've got some real competitive OSS Grassroots action ahead of us here in that middle tier of the Ontario program, and I can't wait for the rest of the dashes, Greg.
And we never know at this time of year what the weather's going to be like, but again, we struck it lucky tonight. Mother Nature doing her part here this evening. We were prepared anyway. We had our nice new OSS hoodies on here tonight, our zips with the hoods. Speaking of OSS hoodies, that's going to be our giveaway item, not only tonight, but over the next couple of shows here on Cosa-Tv. And tonight, you'll have a chance to win one of these, modeled there by James McDonald. If it's good enough for James, hey, it's good enough for us. Just simply leave us a question, a comment, drop us a line at any point during the show here this evening on any of our different platforms. All of you will automatically be entered for that draw following tonight's show. Right now, time to meet the other member of our broadcast team this evening. She'll be covering off both outside here this evening and inside our paddock location. We say good evening to Jamie McDonald. Jamie.
Thanks, guys. It's absolutely gorgeous outside, like you said. We're under a full moon tonight, so you never know what might happen. And the races have been phenomenal so far, as you've touched on. There's been a lot of flow, a lot of horses coming from the back to really take on that leading role at the end of the stretch and coming and taking over. It's been amazing. So we're going to cover races 6 through 10 tonight in the OSS Grassroots Final. We're kicking it off with our 3-year-old trotters and then pacing fillies. Moving on to our 2-year-olds sandwiched in the middle here for our colts and geldings on the pace. And back for race 9 and 10, back to our 3-year-olds, colts and geldings trotting first and then finish it off on the pace. And like I said, it's been phenomenal so far. A beautiful night. They are fast out there, so we can't wait to see what type of action we see.
Thank you very much, Jamie. We'll catch up with you throughout the evening. And yes, 8 championships tonight. A little better than $500,000 up for grabs in those. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back to set things up and take a look back at some of the earlier action here from this evening at Woodbine Mohawk Park.
The racing is fast and exciting at the picturesque Woodbine and Woodbine Mohawk Park racetracks in Ontario, Canada. Woodbine Standardbred, home of the Pepsi North America Cup, a summer classic.
Pebble Beach in Iran.
And Woodbine Thoroughbred, home of the historic King's Plate.
But the mighty filly has devastated them.
Full fields, exotic wagers, iconic events. Play Woodbine Thoroughbred and Woodbine Standardbred today at your favorite wagering location.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
Welcome back to Woodbine Mohawk Park. It's Grassroots Championship night. We have 5 races coming for you live here this evening. 3 of them have already taken place from earlier tonight, so we want to quickly bring you up to speed and show you what has transpired to this point in the evening. And we had the 2-year-old filly Trotters kicking us off back in race number 2, and it was Flirty Dancer delivering as expected.
Yeah, she raced fantastic again, off the pace, wide charge here for Scott Young, and a horse that's really come into her own with Scott Young aboard and racking up the wins late in the season, and then rightfully so winning the final. Happy to see her get there, right, with how good she raced throughout the year. Yeah,
really earned it tonight with a hard-fought off-the-pace win. A great finish here in the 2-year-old filly pace final. Big effort of 151-3. And it's Bonita's Best Bet in the middle, just holding on over her fast-closing stablemate, Make Out With Me.
Yeah, Dave Maneri having an incredible year, isn't he? 1-2 finish in that one. Bonita's Best Bet. Also, a bit of a price on that one in there, Greg. I thought she'd be bet down more than she was.
Few of our regular drivers out of town tonight, including Louis-Philippe Bois. So Jody Jameson picked up the drive tonight on Salem Sealster. And it was a pretty much round trip to the winner's circle.
Yeah, it was. She's been racing fantastic. When she minds her manners, he's a fantastic trotting, gelding when he stays on the trot. And I always joke with Jody, he's Jody on the spot. We hear Johnny on the spot, Jody on the spot. He's picked up some real live ones tonight, and we're going to likely see him make multiple trips to the winner's circle.
Yeah, and that one $110,000 London Classic yearling sale purchase from last year. So really starting to get good here as the season wears on. That one will have a younger sibling named Sprite Sealster, a Green Mantle Leashy offspring, going through the sales ring in our upcoming London Classic, second edition of that in just a couple of weeks' time. So that gets you up to speed. It's been a real entertaining evening so far, and we have all kinds of action to come tonight. A big day of racing overall. Rob, earlier today, Grand Circuit competitor squaring off at the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky, including Confederate. He kept his winning ways up. Sylvia Hanover, nice big bounce back win for her. And, of course, the Dayton Derby and a powerful undercard tonight in Ohio. But we're focused on Grassroots Championship night here, and we begin with 3-year-old filly Trotters here to kick off our action. Smashing Rackets, the hot horse coming in here.
Yeah, we want to talk about horses that have gotten right at gotten to their best at the right time. Smashing Rackets is definitely one of those ones. I mean, winning each of her last 3. I thought she was really showing it earlier on in the season as well, and then kind of had some time where she had to go up against some tougher competition, and then just recently now making her trips back to the winner's circle. I thought she kind of got asked a little bit in her elimination, though. We're going to see here, Greg. I mean, she was on the lead. Looks like it's going to be just kind of another walk in the park for her, but Bob McClure had to get a little bit busy on her to get her to the wire here, but still won by a comfortable enough margin at 15 cents to the dollar.
And we'll get post 1 here tonight. Travis Cullen's going to pick up the drive on the fillies. So, yes, at 1-9, you like to see them win with a little bit more authority than that. We're getting late into the season. We often see on nights like this heavy favorites go down to defeat, usually in at least a couple of those divisional championships. What do you expect from the filly tonight?
I thought that, we're likely going to see probably a better version of herself, I would think, coming into today. Now, the pole position is not a spot that I love, right, for a young trotter especially. But she's obviously a main player in here, and you're right. Like, I think the long season plays into that, right? These horses have been, going to battle with each other for most of the year, and she's even also kind of tested the waters in the Grand Circuit as well. So I do think she's one of the ones to beat in here. Obviously the points leader, but there's a couple in here as well, both Northern Charlotte and Pretty Special. A couple of horses that I think that you have to be mindful of from the barn of Camilla Christoforou.
Yeah, to see a horse that's been fairly dominant and put that kind of a streak together, win at 1-9 last time, be 5-2, and second choice here tonight. That's interesting. We could see a shift in the odds there as we looked at the point totals and Smashing Rackets on the strength of 3 consecutive wins and 6 overall. Not surprisingly, the point leader in the division. Pretty Special, though. Talk about a filly that appears to be peaking from a time perspective, and I think in passing the eye test last week in the elimination, she did it so impressively that I think a lot of people are quickly ready to jump onto her bandwagon tonight.
Yeah, and it races from a barn that I think really kind of point sources towards these type of races. We've seen it even at the super final level as well in previous years, and I think that Pretty Special is set up for her best tonight. I mean, I thought she was fantastic in her semifinal, and her horse has kind of been trending in the right direction. She did have to settle for smaller pieces behind Smashing Rackets, but tonight I think she's going to really put that one to the test.
So much fun to be here with you tonight. This, as you said, is your favorite division of the OSS when we get to championship final night, probably because of the unpredictability factor, and horses are still on the improve at that point in the season, and you never really know what you're going to get on a night like this. Tonight we've got the great weather to go along with it. Picture perfect for this time of year, and a great atmosphere on track. Really nice crowd joining us here tonight as well. So great way to kick it off here tonight. I think there's definitely some intrigue. 4 to 5 on Pretty Special. We'll see if she can deliver. Just want to quickly say hello to some of the folks tuning in tonight. We've got our good friend J.D. Varnell, Mark Anderson on board, Elizabeth Potter from Quebec tuning in tonight. Great to have her on. She, of course, would like to win a hoodie. Nancy Hubbard is tuning in from Illinois. So everybody that does leave us a comment tonight on our different platforms, you're going to have a chance to win. And that's a great prize, right?
Yeah, I'd like to win one myself, actually.
Yeah, we had a little trip past the swag booth earlier tonight. And again, we say it every year, but the folks at the OSS really up in their game every year in the swag department.
They raise the stakes in the swag department every year as well. And these jackets we're rocking tonight are perfect. They really are. They're really nice for this night, and love the hoodie on these ones. So, but I'd like to get one of those hoodies as well, the one that James is modeling there, Greg.
Okay, we'll see what we can do for you, Rob. We'll see if what kind of a mood they're in at the end of the night.
That's right.
Okay. Our good friend J.D. Varnell, a little update from Dayton for us, and it's good. We don't get to watch in person while we're on air, so he's got an update. The Dayton Pacing Derby Consolation, Taurasi from the Tony Alagna barn, 49-2. So obviously the track in Dayton, Ohio, lightning fast tonight for their big card. So we'll keep a half an eye on that. Quick hello to Marlene White-Molina from Elmira, not too far from here, and Denise Bond from Moncton, New Brunswick. Wonderful to have everyone tuning in with us here this evening on Grassroots Championship Night. We celebrate Ontario Sire Stakes finals this evening. We've got 5 coming your way live, and the 3-year-old filly trotters, the first of those. Here is the field. Smashing Rackets. Can she keep the current win streak of 3 going here? Travis Cullen picks up the drive. A juicy 9-2 on the filly.
And there's her stablemate, the 2 Cardio Muscle, driven by Jonathan Drury, trained by Kyle Fellows. 8 on the board finishes and 19 tries so far this season.
Sweet Determination, the 3 from the Richard Moreau stable. Sylvain Filion on the bike, 0 for 13 this season. Definitely better than that record would state. And one of these times, she's going to break through. Maybe it's tonight at 6-1.
There's the 4 shiny new penny. Tyler Borth getting the call on this one for Ben Bayerjan. Another one with 7 on the board finishes and 15 tries, just 2 victories though.
Northern Demi, the number 5 in the field, a $66,000 London Select yearling sale purchase. The Aiden Stable, LLC of Ohio, the owner's Trevor Henry driving. She's 1 for 13 on the season.
The 6 is It's Your Choice for Scott Young and trainer Matt Bax. Hitting the board with frequency this year with 7 out of 13. Winless at 8 last year, but does have $156,000 earned in her career.
Pretty Special's another London Sale graduate, a daughter of Resolve. She has been special so far this season. A couple of wins, including a 53-3 dominant win in her elimination.
And her stablemate, the 9, Northern Charlotte, winning at a 50% clip this season, 5 for 10 with over $56,000 made. Paul McDonnell gets the call tonight for Camilla Christoforou.
And it's going to be Tyler Jones handling Southwind Chardonnay, the number 10, another daughter of Resolve, for the Salzbrook Stables of Windsor, Nova Scotia. Vern Cochran, the trainer. She's a 3-time winner this year. Will get to move inside 1 spot on the starting gate as well with the scratch of the 8. So it is down to a field of 9 here. And one of the horses who's drawn well is Shiny New Penny, post 4 starter here, with Tyler Borth leading reinsman by wins in Canada this season. Let's find more about this filly now as we head over to join Jamie McDonald.
That's right. Thanks, Greg. Sarah Bayerjon joins us now. number 4, Shiny New Penny. Not a bad post to start from, but let's talk about not this race tonight, just your kind of background with this horse, the history. It's been a family affair on both sides.
Yes, it has. And so we trained her mother, also trained her grandma. We've had her siblings and alarm detector. He's been a very solid sire this year. She's the result of a test crop that we did. Super happy with the results. And she won a gold last year. She's only a Grassroots this year, but super proud of her accomplishments, and hopefully she can become a nice broodmare.
And now how has she progressed, physically, mentally out on the track from 2 to 3?
She's about the same, very level-headed. She was a little wild warming up tonight, so we'll see how Tyler handles that. But she's a sweetheart in the barn. She's a sweetheart to jog at home. She loves to have friends. He throws some pretty good offsprings.
Any commonalities between them that you see out on the track?
They'll fight through a little bit of soreness. Yeah, they're tough. They're tough like their dad.
Excellent, and good luck here in the final.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to Jamie and Sarah. Shiny New Penny. Easy to see why she's so proud of the filly. And there you go, from just a test breeding crop for Alarm Detector. You get a filly here who's closing in on $150,000 in career earnings. And boy, does she look good on the track.
I was just going to say, you took it words out of my mouth, Greg. She looks fantastic on the track. Very proud of herself out there right now. A little prance going with Tyler Borth aboard. Obviously has had James McDonald aboard for many of her previous efforts, but James is in Dayton tonight as well, so Tyler Borth picks up the steer, and he'll try to make the most of it, going for $75,000.
A quick hello going out to Daryl Bell. Daryl and Corley Bell. They say they're watching from the basement tonight. They've got the popcorn out. They've got the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
And, great to have you guys joining us. Mike D's on the YouTube feed here as well. And who else is joining us? Our buddy Blake McIntosh tuning in tonight from Lexington down there, probably taking in some of the Grand Circuit racing and, of course, getting ready for the big yearling sale there starting this coming Monday. Don Thorpe from Whitby. Great to have him on board. And Denise Bond. She's on track tonight. So good to have her here in person this evening. Great to have all of you joining here tonight. This is a fun night. This is one that we always circle on the racing calendar. And again, for these competitors, they've been, kind of up and down. Some maybe have tried the waters in the gold division. Some have graduated perhaps from Prospect Series divisions earlier in the year. And then others have been grassrooters all season long. It's the middle ground, but they all get to chase a nice $75,000 purse, and it's a great feather in their cap if they win.
Oh, it is. And I mean, it's the biggest pool, right, of horses. I mean, you've got those 3 tiers now with the Prospect Series, kind of the entry level. The Grassroots, when I was growing up around the game, Greg, was always the kind of the softer spot, but it's really deviated away from that now. It's a highly competitive division, and you see a lot of horses that are probably borderline gold horses that do ply their trade at this level. And Pretty Special is one that started off in the golds this year and then made the transition to the Grassroots, and she's been racing fantastic at this level.
And when you see 2-year-old filly pacers going in 51-3 in Grassroots championships, you know how it has evolved and how the speed in general has evolved. What kind of speed are we going to see here? With the weather we have tonight, I wouldn't be shocked if they're in that 53, 54 range again.
Yeah, I would expect that as well. I mean, this has been, we've got some horses now knocking heads that have, faced each other a few times throughout the season. But tonight, when the money's down, we're going to see their absolute best. And I'm a little bit surprised. You mentioned earlier that Pretty Special is the odds-on favorite right now. Smash and Racket's down to 2-1, but that's still a bigger price than I expected on that one.
Starting gates rolling and in to call the action tonight. We drove down together this evening from London, Ontario. Shannon Sugar Doyle, the voice of the raceway, and he's in the booth tonight. And this is the richest card of racing that he's called in his career. He is pumped, and here he is with the description of race 6 next.
In the centers, Northern Demi, then it's your choice. Pretty Special. Northern Charlotte, Southwind Chardonnay for 9 in behind. Top of the stretch. Picking up speed, here they come. OSS Grassroots Final. 3-year-old trotting fillies. They're off. And leaving sharply for the outside, Northern Charlotte. Paul McDonnell teaming another one up from the outside gate. Northern Charlotte is gunning forward, leaving out for second. It's Your Choice, protecting an inside lane. Smashing Rackets is going to be up close. So making front, Northern Charlotte at 58-1 settles in early to the front end. 26-3, quick opening quarter mile speed, and already considering and moving now from third. Here's Travis Cullen sending Smashing Rackets forward up and towards the half-mile markers. So nothing settled up front just yet. Smashing Rackets going to the top. Northern Charlotte now goes into the holding pattern in second. It's Your Choice. Travels in third. Fourth and in for Cardio Muscle. The midfield fifth for Shiny New Penny. On hold in sixth. Pretty Special peeking to the outside into seventh with Sweet Determination. Then it was Northern Demi, the trailer. Southwind Chardonnay as the flow develops following a quick half. Snapped up in 55-3. Smashing Rackets going a big one thus far. Northern Charlotte, one of the bigger long shots. Two-hole riding outside a traveling third, though not making much headway just yet. That is Shiny New Penny inside to be fourth. It's Your Choice, and here comes a closer in Pretty Special, kicking off cover. On the inside, it's Smashing Rackets, but here comes Christopherou on his horse. Pretty Special at 3-5. Chris Christopherou has not moved yet. He just took a peek over his left shoulder and said good night. Pretty Special and OSS Grassroots final winner under wraps. Holding second, Smashing Rackets. It appeared to be Sweet Determination in third. 153-2. New race win record. Pretty Special, wasn't she?
The ever-improving Pretty Special, another step forward tonight in her racing career. She is now a Grassroots champion. The race, Rob, really set up right into her wheelhouse. Plenty of speed to chase, and Christopherou just had her lurking in the weeds, and when he asked turning for home, he got the response he expected.
Yeah, he got that immediate response and then didn't really have to ask much after that because, I mean, she was just gone on them, right? A incredible performance from Pretty Special. And you know, this is, you know, a connection, you know, Chris and Camilla Christopherou that always seem to have their horses in peak form in these spots. You know, when it gets down to the championship events, that's when they're going to race their absolute best. The stablemate, you know, went out to the early lead, Northern Charlotte, before releasing Smashing Rackets to the front. But then when this one attacked them late, there was no question who the winner was going to be.
Last year as a rookie, Pretty Special, just one win in 7. She showed enough ability during the campaign, made $50,000, but definitely has reached a new level this season. With that victory tonight, she's going to go well over the $75,000 mark now in seasonal earnings. That bumps her well over $100K in career earnings. She's a little bit on the diminutive side, but boy, does she have a slick way of covering the ground and a big set of lungs, I would say, too, because she can carry her speed a long way, and she just seems to be getting better and better.
Yeah, she is, and you know, it really kind of speaks volumes for the Ontario program, right? Race at the gold level as a rookie, even got into the super final where she made a break in stride, and then tried those waters again this year before transitioning down to the Grassroots, right? And that's why it's so important that we have those 3 tiers, because you know now she can go out there and obviously was racing much more competitive, and now she would she is the boss of the division, being crowned as the champion.
Another quick hello to some of our viewers that are joining us. Patrick Bedard watching the hockey game. He's got the races on too. That's a pretty nice combination. Old friend of mine, Cindy Harper-Gallant, tuning in from Prince Edward Island. Used to run around the old CDP back in our younger days, and she's excited, of course, for tonight's card and the upcoming Atlantic Classic yearling sale that's going to be happening down there. Our good friend Barb Timmons-Longafee from Cape Breton joining us tonight as well. And there's the Magic Man, Billy O'Donnell, making the presentation to Chris Christopherou. Hall of Famer Chris Christopherou, we should say, inducted this past summer. 6,800 plus wins and counting for him, $120 million or so in career purse earnings. And Doesn't drive the same volume of horses now, but still so good, especially on young trotters like this. Teaches them how to do it the right way. And teaming up there with wife Camilla, so you know it's extra special for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, fun fact about me, Greg, Greenwood Raceway, when I was a kid, probably about 4, 5, and 6, before I got into the real kind of complex betting, it was always 2 across on Chris Christopher, who's my favorite driver. So love seeing him get to the winner's circle in these big spots.
You know what I loved as a kid, watching the simulcast and us growing, from Charlottetown, trying to correctly pronounce his last name, because we had 2 or 3 different versions. But we eventually settled on Christopher.
I think that might have been one of the reasons why he was my favorite driver back then, is because it was such a unique name for me, and everyone had trouble pronouncing it.
Yeah, and affectionately known as the Greek, right?
Yeah.
And his father, Chris Sr., of course, a great trainer, one of the great characters around the track for many, many years, and ran into him actually a couple of weeks ago, and he seems to be doing fantastic. Pretty Special was the favorite. The horse players, they had it bang on, $3.40 to win. Smash and Rack, it's really good effort from that one tonight. Caught up in some really hot early speed fractions, but held on well. Sweet Determination, a closing third. Let's go over trackside and catch up with the winning connections next.
Pretty Special gets it done in this OSS Grassroots final for 3-year-old filly trotters. I'm here with winning driver Chris Christopher. Chris, how frustrating was it with this filly, because she just kept making so many breaks early on this season?
Well, we got lucky, and Camilla figured it out, and she got her back going the way she was supposed to go. She was definitely frustrating for a bit, but it's at least nice to see her get this done tonight.
You always told me that this filly had some ability. Were you contemplating, once you did rectify those braking issues, that you were going to try her back in the golds?
Well, we thought about it, but it was one of those things where it was kind of late, and she had done well in the Grassroots, and it was probably an easier spot for her. And like I said, this filly, she has tremendous speed for a piece, and but she's very erratic. And like I said, it's all Camilla on this one. I'm just a passenger.
I know the half came up in 55-3, and the cover was a big gap in your sake, but when you saw that number up on the screen, I mean, were you just confident that she was going to get it done?
I was hopeful. She's been firing home pretty good lately, and the fractions were to her liking, so you never know, but I wasn't disappointed with the fractions, I'll put it that way.
Congratulations, Chris.
Thanks, John.
All right, Chris Christopher, Camilla Christopher, Pretty Special, get it done this OSS Grassroots for 3-year-old filly trotters.
Congratulations to the winning connections, and Chris, he's a smart guy. Gave all the credit to Camilla.
Yeah, absolutely. He isn't,
and probably well deserved.
Well,
as well.
It sure is, but also doesn't want to end up on the couch tonight, right? If he goes out there and takes all the spotlight for himself.
All right, what a way to start things off tonight. Pretty Special, aptly named 53-2, and what a performance and what a career that lies ahead for this filly as she continues her progression through the Ontario Sire Stakes program. Time for a commercial break. We'll be back with plenty more here on Grassroots Championship Night on Cosa-Tv.
Enjoy the thrill of the race anywhere, anytime with HPIBet.com. Join for free and use your smartphone, tablet, or PC to watch and wager when you can't be at the track. Stream live racing from over 450 tracks. Bet with ease from anywhere. It's safe and secure. Get rewards, race alerts, tips, and more. For a limited time, get $100 when you become a member. Plus, 1 month free live race streaming, and your first bet is on us. Go to HPIBet.com to join for free today.
By now, you know the name Cosa-Tv, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. Cosa-Tv has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out HPIBet.com. Cosa-Tv, taking Ontario racing global.
Welcome back. We are just outside the paddock location here at picturesque Woodbine Mohawk Park, where it's Grassroots Championship Night. We are halfway home. 4 of them have been completed, 4 more to go. $75,000 up for grabs in each of those finals. And now it's time for the 3-year-old filly pacers to do their thing. And we've got a great field of 10 assembled, including Sweetest Belle from Post 1. She's riding a big 4-race win streak in tonight. Jody Jamieson picks up yet another very live catch drive.
Yeah, Jody on the spot again. This is one that's been absolutely electric as of late. She really announced her presence with authority at the Raceway at Western Fair earlier in the season, Greg, in a Grassroots event where she made a break and stride at the start and made a huge recovery. And now she's really come into her own and been doing good things for trainer Susie Curwood.
All right now, just before the post parade, we're going to hear from driver Phil Hudon, who's sending out one here tonight, and he'll be in the driver's seat as well. He's standing by with Jamie.
Leaving from post 7, we have Mystic Wild Rose, trainer and driver tonight, double dutying here. We have Phil Hudon. Thanks for joining us. Tell us about, your filly here and how she's been this year so far.
No problem. Yeah, she's had a good year. We had a few thirds to get in the semifinals, and she won a hell of a trip last week. Tough, parked out the mile. I didn't plan on it, but I was just counting for top 5. She raced huge. Nice filly.
And how has she progressed as a 2-year-old for you, from 2 to 3?
She did real good. She finished up the season. I took chips out of her last year, and then she come back really good. I give her the time, and she come back a nice 3-year-old, and then I'll give her a break and then race her as she gets older after this.
Well, we'll let you go because they're just walking out here now. Good luck.
All right, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Always nice to hear from the connections just before the horses head out to the track. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks to Phil Hudon. We'll wish him the best of luck here. Your favorite at 3-2 in the field, number 6 Century Jamila, one of 4 in the field sent out by trainer Sean Stacey. And on that note, we'll say hi to his wife Natasha, is tuning in from Lexington as well on the show. Congratulations to Team Stacey earlier today, Sylvia Hanover. Nice win there. Maybe we'll ask Natasha if she's watching, was she a little disappointed with how flat the filly was today? I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
Listen, I can't believe she paid $5. I was a little bit disappointed I missed that one today for my wagering purposes because I thought she'd be a heavy favorite, but somehow went off at a decent price.
She had the other great filly, Twinbee Joe Fresh, on her back, and they were sprinting home again, I think, around 25 seconds. Just incredible. And Sylvia Hanover back into the win column, so she again solidifies her throne as the best 3-year-old filly pacer in North America this season. Again, Team Stacey well represented here. Quick hello to some of the other viewers tuning in. Michelle Hogan, renowned equine artist, joining us tonight on the show. Wade McCoy, friend of the show, he's joining us here as well. Hello going out to him, watching on the Facebook feed. A lot of viewers tuning in from all over here this evening as we get ready to go with an excellent field in here. We'll meet them all on post parade in a moment. Vying for favoritism is Century Jamila, who we talked about, post 6 starter, post 1 starter, Sweetest Belle, the filly that's on a streak. We'll show her replay win from the elimination in a moment after post parade if we have a chance. But boy, she's been on a tear, and what a season it's been for her. Well traveled, winning at different sized venues, and 7 for 19 on the season.
Yeah, nothing seems to phase her. She's a versatile type too, right? She can win on the engine. She can come from off the pace. And what I also like about her is, she looks so promising at 2. Obviously, then had to get shut down early and has had a real nice sophomore campaign.
All right, see if Jody Jamieson can pick up another winning catch drive here tonight. Jody on the spot. We'll start calling him perhaps here this evening. He's had a real good role here the last few weeks as well. Sweetest Belle, really no chinks in her armor for Susie Curwood, the trainer, and again, Double J driving, the daughter of sports writer.
There's the 2 Grander Sealster. Austin Story from Marcel Barrio was the OSS Grassroots champion at 2. We'll look to now try to defend that crown as a bit of an underdog in the issues installment.
Number 3, Uncontrolled, Tyler Borth, the other in the field for Susie Curwood. Nice filly in her own right. Couple of wins, 7 on the board, finishes in 15, and 44,000 plus banked.
The first of 4 for trainer Sean Stacey, the 4. Cooper Trooper, driven by Tyler Jones, 2 for 19 on the season with just over 40,000 made lifetime.
Jonathan Drury already with a Grassroots Championship win earlier this evening. He'll try and click here with one of the Sean Stacey pupils. Her name is Dance with Tabby from Post 5.
The 6th Century Jamila's had a fantastic season, 7 for 18, over 100,000 made. Sylvan Filion picks up a live drive tonight for trainer Sean Stacey.
7 Mystic Wild Rose, a real consistent sort. We heard from Phil Hudon moments ago. She's hit the board in each of her last 5 coming into tonight.
And the 8 is Elisa's Delight, driven by Trevor Henry, trained by Jeff Gillis. Consistent throughout the season with 13 on-the-board finishes and 24 tries. Just under 104,000 made. Will have to work for post 8, though.
Number 9 in the field is Twin Delight. Scott Young picks up the drive on this, the 4th of the Sean Stacey pupils. And she was a very impressive elimination winner a week ago. She got it done from post 10. Draws slightly better tonight, post 9.
And the 10 is Glenborough, 0 for 18 on the season, but does have 7 on-the-board finishes. 1 victory last year at 2, just over 100,000 made. Will likely be trying to leave out of there from the outermost post in the contest.
All right, we'll dive into this here in a moment. Quick shout out to a few more of our viewers tuning in tonight on the YouTube feed. We've got John watching in from Walkerton. A friend of the show, Dwayne McFadden, tuning in tonight. Hi going out to Dwayne. Marco Glavic joining us as well. Welcome to the broadcast. And there is Sweetest Belle. Looks full of herself, and she was an impressive off-the-pace winner a week ago. We're going to take you back quickly and show you another look at that elimination. She got away 6th in the field, and the fractions really weren't on her side, so she kind of overcame a tough trip to win.
Yeah, she did. It was one of those ones where you look at it and you see a long shot kind of getting away from them in the engine, setting those reasonable fractions, but Sweetest Belle would not be denied, and really, was grinding it out too. First over there before taking the leader in the stretch. And the one thing about Sweetest Belle is that she's gotten along so well with Doug McNairn. Of course, he's not here tonight, and we've already seen Jody get to the winner's circle by picking up one of these live steers, and I certainly think he won't do any wrong, but Doug has gotten along very well with this Sweetest Belle.
And she's a filly that doesn't need to take the racetrack with her. We saw her winning earlier this season at Clinton. Then a winner at Grand River, or not a winner, but a good third in a gold division, I should say, at Grand River. A Grassroots winner 3 back at Hanover. So she's as good on the big track as she is on the half-mile ovals. Doesn't really matter what the trip scenario is as well. The versatility is such a big weapon for a young horse. And what a campaign she's had. 93,000 plus, and would love to cap it off, of course, with a Super Final championship. Her next door neighbor is the defending champ, Granger Sealster. She was a 51-1 winner in the 2-year-old filly division last year. Safe to say she's come back good. She just didn't take that further step forward this year.
No, and she tried tougher competition, right? SBOA, Golds, when she kind of came right out of the gates, and then she had an issue with making a break in stride here and there and getting beat by wide margins. But then she kind of turned the corner, I'd say mid-season, Greg, and back at the grassroots levels, I think, where she's going to enjoy it and where she has enjoyed it. And I would say she's a bit of a sleeper tonight, right? Because she rose the occasion last year. I think that's why she's taking so much support down to 4-1 now. I mean, we've seen her just take steady money throughout the betting cycle.
Strength in numbers for a couple of trainers in here. Susie Kerwood with 2. We've already talked about Sweetest Belle. She has Uncontrolled as well. She was a City of London winner way back earlier in the summer. But Team Stacey with 4. Of the 4, who do you think has the best chance?
You know what? Just for a pure value, I'd go to the 9 Twin Delight at 12-1. Somehow she goes off at 11-1 in her semifinal. She gets the job done. She's done nothing wrong in the grassroots this season. I think she's only had 1 second-place finish in these events. The rest of them all been victories. She does have a difficult post to work from, but the price is right at 12-1. I'd go with Twin Delight, but obviously Sentry Jamil is a strong force here from the winningest post.
The post didn't trip up Twin Delight last time. Post 10, a real impressive multiple move effort, and had to do some stick handling in tight quarters in the final quarter on top of it all to win. That was a thoroughly impressive win, and I think you're right. If there's a horse that's jumping up in terms of the price or jumping out off the top board, I think it would be that one at 11-1, and we'll see if Scott Young has the answers with this one here as the starting gate is underway. It's race 7. This is going to be a good one. 3-year-old filly pacers, wide open group in the Grassroots Championship. Once again, up to Shannon Sugardoyle with the call.
Trooper, Dance with Tabby, Century Jamila, Mystic Wild Rose, Elisa's Delight, Twin Delight, Glenborough for 10 starters. All on gate. They're at the top of the stretch. Picking up speed, here they come. The 3-year-old pacing fillies for an OSS Grassroots final. Race 7 starts right now. They're off. From the outside, Glenboro teed up early. Century Jamila wants to be up close towards the inside. Grandeur Sealster. And look at it, duck into fourth. Dance with Tebby. So taking control here in the early going. Travis Cullen sending another one in Glenboro. The 63-1 longest shot leader here. Had them by the quarter mile in 26-3. Pocket pulling Century Jamila. And Sylvan Filion wants open road for this filly tonight. Century Jamila took late action, closed up as the 6-5 favorite. Underway into the backfield. Scott Young sending up Twin Delight now, rushing and brushing here. Lots of action in this one prior to the half mile. Century Jamila driving on outside and driving there in second was Twin Delight. Up close in third is Glenboro. Towed up into it to be fourth. Mystic Wild Rose. Shuffled into fifth was Grandeur Sealster to set it up third over. Cooper Trooper. Then along the inside, Dance with Tabby. And out there fourth. Best into the flow. Fourth best into the flow there was Elisa's Delight. The buried ninth, Sweetest Belle. And trailing, though not out of it, uncontrolled. The half clock's up, 55-1. And here they are, showing up at three-quarters. Century Jamila had them there, 123-4, bunching up as they swing for home. Century Jamila doing most of the work and trying to get paid here. Here comes the long shot, Pocket Rocket. Glenboro, Grandeur Sealster gets a shot now for Surrey at 5-1. Sweetest Belle, room at the end. She's closing up. It's Century Jamila almost there. Century Jamila and Filion for an OSS Grassroots final. Grandeur Sealster was second. Sweetest Belle settles for third. Glenboro fourth. 150-4. Big winning effort and a new race mark for Century Jamila.
The punters here at Woodbine Mohawk Park have it right again. Century Jamila. Quick move to the lead in the early going, then released and quarter pulled back to the front. And from there, a real gritty effort. Needed every bit of a 27-second final quarter to hold off defending champion Grandeur Sealster, who looked certainly at one point like she might go by and pull off the repeat.
Yeah, I thought she might. I mean, it looked at first like Century Jamila might be getting a little bit tired on the engine, but boy, oh boy, did she ever race fantastic again tonight. Been a model of consistency throughout the season, and Sylvan Filion, right, gets to pick up a nice steer here, one that usually is driven by James McDonald, but Sylvan will enjoy getting to the winner's circle in this OSS Grassroots final. But yeah, Grandeur Sealster, defending champion, really raised her game again tonight, but had to settle for second best.
Yeah, and you talk about raising the game, and they all kind of did that tonight. 50-4 at the end of September. That's a big mile, and it's a tick faster than most of these have gone. Sweetest Belle, she had a ground-saving trip. She was a very good third, and you wondered, you kind of thought, oh, was she a little flat? Did she hang a little bit in the stretch? But then you see, hey, 27-second last quarter, polishing off this kind of a mile. It's understandable that she wasn't able to go by. Understandable why no one could go by Century Jamila. Another London Sale graduate from Century Spring Farms who bred this one, and they'll be watching tonight and very happy to see the performance of this filly.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sweetest Belle, we talk about that rail spot, even here at Mohawk Park, not the best place to be at times, and not much Jody could do there, right? Gets away, mid-pack, and the action was already fast and furious, and he kind of just got stuck on the inside. Did kind of get every chance in the stretch, but like you said, Greg, there was no catching Century Jamila the way she banked home.
Beautiful-looking daughter of Better's Delight from the Modern Art mare Exotic Pleasure. And, nice, just a perfect-sized filly, just the right size, nice, strong gait to her. So many tactical weapons. She's quick off the gate. Obviously, as she showed here tonight, a lot of fight, too. Does not like to get past in the stretch. Good quality to have.
Yeah, gets around every surface, too, right? Like I said, she's been a model of consistency for Sean Stacey throughout the season. And it's not always easy, right? I think we kind of underestimate, when a horse gets driven by the same driver so many times, and then gets a new set of hands, you almost wonder how they're going to respond to it. But Sylvan Filion did everything right tonight on her, and she certainly responded. What
a year again for trainer Sean Stacey. He is leading in the Johnson Cup standings this year, leading OSS trainer. And you understand why, right? 4 of them here in the final. Strength in numbers, and they all came in on paper as contenders. But Century Jamila, I think the fact that she had shown in some of those recent starts that from a time perspective, she was capable at any point of clicking off a 51 mile, and in fact she was just a tick better than that here tonight, and she needed to be, which is good to see. She had to earn it. Full marks for the victory there. And, she could be any kind of a mare going forward. That's the nice thing. We've seen Grassroots champions go on to the highest levels. One that comes to mind immediately when we think pacing mares, so much more.
So much more, yeah. I still got the selfie with Tyler Borth in the winner's circle at the Raceway at Western Fair when he got her to victory. I think it was in her first win maybe out here in a Grassroots event. And no, that's a special picture that I have there. And you really think back, right, that a real testament to the Ontario program with what she's done with her career.
She started her career in Ontario racing in London, in fact, in her first ever Grassroots contest there. And $1.5 million later, here she is as a multiple O'Brien Award winner. So you're right, a testament to the Ontario Sire Stakes program, and that's why nights like tonight are so much fun. Century Jamila, the even money favorite. There's a look at the pair mutual details. And not huge pace, but the good news is a lot of people will be walking up to the windows to cash tonight, or refreshing their HPI account or whatever other wagering platform. 20-cent super, though, not a bad return. $115 and change for a 20-cent combination. With an even money and a couple of the other favorites, second and third, that's a nice payout.
My friend Sugar Doyle would have said just hit the all button for fourth, right?
All right, let's hear from winning driver Sylvain Filion, standing by now.
She had some rough trips over her last 2. Was your goal just to kind of give her a good trip tonight?
Well, I was just hoping to get a clean trip and not get locked in. She got very unlucky the last few starts, and that's probably why she was so good tonight. And I was just making sure I could give her some racetrack to go, and she did a great job.
You were going some quick panels up front. You had some horses to your outside that you needed to kind of fend off. A 50 and 4 mile. Were you worried at all turning for home?
No, not really. She felt really good around the last turn. She swelled up because of that horse on the outside of her. And when I asked her at the top of the stretch, she just took off,
Congratulations, Sylvain.
Thank you very much.
Sylvain Filion, Sean Stacey, Century Jamila, get it done in the OSS Grassroots final.
5 races down. We have 3 more left to go. Time for another commercial break, and we'll be back with plenty more of tonight's Grassroots Championships next.
For over 25 years, Tara Hill Stud has worked with partners to help produce champion stallions. We are proud to have bred great racehorses like Fade Out, Shower Play, Precious Delight, and There's a Demon in Me. Our stallions, past and present, have had tremendous success while making a huge impact on racing across North America. Mr. Levesque, Mach 3, Cadabra, Muscle Mass, and Precious Bunny, to name a few. Our stallions' progeny have won major events, including the Hambletonian. Tara Hill Stud are currently standing 9 of the industry's top stallions. Alarm Detector, Control the Moment, Danson Lou, Flanagan Memory, Green Manalishi, He's Watching, Muscle Mass, Resolve, and Sports Writer. Our facility is modern, our staff knowledgeable. Consider Tara Hill Stud when choosing a home for your stallion. Tara Hill Stud, where champions stand and champion yearlings are raised. Log on to tarahills.com.
Welcoming you back to Woodbine Mohawk Park. We have 3 more Grassroots Championships to cover this evening. As part of the show, 2-year-old Colt Pacers are coming up next. And what a group we have assembled here. T.H. McMurray, certainly the now horse. He's riding a 3-race win streak and was so dominant last time out in winning. In fact, we're going to hear from one of the connections in a moment. Before that, though, let's take you back and show you T.H. McMurray from a week ago. Now, this is a colt, Rob, that has toiled at the gold level and, in fact, has been a winner at the gold level earlier this year. So not surprising to see him doing what he's done lately.
Yeah, he's a very talented son of McWicked, and he was a strong winner when he won in the golds. Did have Mirage Hanover make a break and stride on that occasion when he got the job done. A horse that kind of got steppy behind the gate at times, but since getting down to the grassroots level has been all business and a much the best winner, and that certainly was the case in his semifinal.
So we're showing you that gold win. That was, in fact, the first gold leg back on July the 10th right here at the venue. Again, kind of fell on hard times. They reset and it got him going in the right direction. Found an easier spot in the grassroots. Let him develop more at his own pace. And, in recent starts, frankly, he's been toying with the competition. And you would expect tonight, and that takes nothing away from the rest of the field, because if he's not in here, you're still talking about what an outstanding group of rookie pacers you'd be watching here. But he has looked so good. Frankly, I might put him up against any colt in North America right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm overestimating him or not, but he's looked that good in winning.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you see right there, he's third in points because he's a perfect 3 for 3 at the OSS grassroots level, and he's done it so easy, Greg. And I mean, I thought he was a strong winner at the gold level, right? I mean, I honestly thought he was one that was going to make his mark there, then did have those issues, staying on his gate and obviously getting to the softer competition. He's been pacing a lot smoother. Going to get Jody Jamieson aboard, right? Another one that Jody picks up, and third driver that he's going to have in his career. Had success with Doug early on, and Louis, and now Jody will drive him in the championship event tonight.
And you saw the points leader, D.A. McDreamy. He is in the field. He'll leave a few positions down from T.H. McMurray. His stablemate unrivaled Hanover Post 9. He's tied for second. Speaking of D.A. McDreamy, it's been a great season for him. His regular pilot for much of it earlier on in the season anyway, as Scott Young gets reunited with him tonight. He's standing by with Jamie.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, here with driver Scott Young, leaving from post 7 with D.A. McDreamy. Kind of excited to be back on this horse?
Yeah, he was a really nice colt. He just absolutely jogged for me in Kawartha, and then he was in a really tough race the next start, and I just took care of him, and I was fortunate Johnny had another colt in here, so I was able to pick him up tonight.
And as you've seen, JD's been really successful with him, and kind of talked to him about that, and, luck of the draw for you.
Yeah, he's been great. Like I said, all summer he's been really good. He's been 1-2 every week, and, Jody's colt's pretty nice, but who knows, if they do some racing, I could be heard from late.
And post 7, thoughts on that for this one?
He's really good. He's a professional and a half. Like, he was perfect his second lifetime start. Now he's almost a seasoned veteran now. So no, 7 doesn't bother me. I already won from 7 tonight, so let's try and keep it going.
Well, congrats on the win, and hopefully another one here.
Thank you so much.
Great to hear from Scott as he hops aboard, and he sounds quietly confident. I'm sure they all feel that, they could be racing for place against T.H. McMurray, but hey, they don't cut the check before the race. You have to go out and go around. So, he's quietly confident that he'll at least be in the hunt and get a good piece of it.
Yeah, and he's feeling good, right? He got that win earlier on tonight on Flirty Dancer, and he's picked up some live ones as well, right? He gets to drive D.A. McDreamy here. We're going to see him on Win Me Back later on tonight, getting that drive this evening because Bob McClure couldn't make it.
Yeah, with Bob not here, Louis-Philippe Bois, James out of town, Doug, they were competing earlier today, a couple of them at the Red Mile tonight at Dayton as part of their big program, so opportunities for others tonight. Quick hello to Bobo tuning in on the YouTube feed, Michael DeMade from London as well. Welcome to the show. Time to meet the field now for the 2-year-old Colt Pace Final. Vis-a-vis Blue Chip, Trevor Henry the one for Paul and Nicole Davies. Paul does the training. Couple of wins this year, a sharp 152-1 winner here 2 back.
And there is the definitive favorite, the 2 T.H. McMurray, driven by Jody Jameson, trained by Jeffrey Taylor. Perfect 3 for 3 at the OSS grassroots level.
Number 3 in the field, Century Komodo. Phil Hudon picks up the drive on this one. He has been a charging third in each of his last couple with sub-27-second final quarter speed. Can Century Springs come back with a second consecutive winner tonight?
The 4 is A Star Was Born for Sylvain Filion and trainer Dr. Ian Moore. Winless in 7 so far in his career, but does have 4 on the board finishes and just over $17,000 in earnings.
Enforcer's number 5, that's a London Classic Sale graduate, son of Big Jim. Just 1 for 8 this year, but close to $60,000 earned. Chris Christoforou on board for this one.
The 6 is Stonebridge Thrill, driven by Tyler Borth for Anthony Beaton. Just 4 starts in his career, still winless, but does have a runner-up finish and just over $8,000 made.
McWicked having a nice season in the sire ranks of the OSS this year. D.A. McDreamy, he's the leader in the points standings this season in this division. Second in the elimination, 3 for 7 on the year. Scott Young back on board tonight.
Another son of McWicked, the 8 McWicked time, getting overlooked on the odds board right now, in my opinion, at 28-1. Did finish 10th in the semifinal as an 8-5 favorite. Since he was one of the 10 horses that entered in for the final tonight, he gets in. 3 for 10 so far in his career, just under $44,000 made. An outsider on the odds board, but in with a chance.
Unrivaled Hanover, an excellent second behind T.H. McMurray last time. He got away 6th. He was second, paced home in 26-2. He was no threat to the winner, but he was clearly best of the rest, and Jonathan Drury retains the drive on him tonight.
And there's the 10, rounding out the field, Wicked Prince for Tyler Jones and Murray Breather. Was a dominant winner in the OSS Grassroots at Grand River Raceway on August the 18th. That stands his only victory, though, in 8 tries. Does have 2 on the board, finished in just over $18,000 made.
So there is T.H. McMurray, a son of the aforementioned McWicked, and in particular, when it comes to the rookie colt pacers in the province, he has had a real impact here this season. This guy, he just looks the part. Again, just a nice-sized colt. He's a little bit bigger than he carries himself, and I noticed him last week on the run-out after the race. He was right beside Unrivaled Hanover. Unrivaled Hanover's a really nice-sized, kind of a powerful son of Bettor's Delight, and when they were side by side, there wasn't much to choose between them in the size department. T.H. McMurray, I think, has grown up a bit as the season has worn on. It's the way he covers the ground to me that's so eye-catching. It's effortless, and I think there's a lot more in the tank. And again, you never know if you're overrating them or not. It really comes down to, when they get in with others that can match them, and then you see if they've got that little bit extra, that intangible where they want to fight horses off. But right now he's been so dominant that he hasn't had to worry about that.
And I love the bookend quarters for him, right? He's a horse that can bang out of there, and then he comes home strongly as well, and that's something that's not always easy to do for a youngster, to crank him up early, have him settle, and then blast home. And he's obviously matured throughout the season. I mean, he was kind of fumblegated in his lifetime debut. That probably was the reason why he didn't fare so well as a horse that took a lot of support on the odds board, but then came right back to win at the gold level, but then did make another break in stride. But since then, he's looked smooth out there.
And for me, Unrivaled Hanover was ultra impressive in finishing second last time. It's a different vantage point. I was here calling the races that night, so from up top you get a different view of the horses, and just the body language of the horse. Jonathan Drury wasn't chasing him. He knew he was not ever going to reel in T.H. McMurray on that night, and he had second locked up and just let the horse kind of do it on his own. But boy, he was pacing almost as hard at the wire as the winner on that occasion. To me, I think he's just a lot better than a 1 for 7 and $36,000 record. This is one that could really, in my opinion, take a step forward next year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost, you look at his record and it's almost unfair, isn't it? Because he deserves, probably more wins than the, on his card, just 1 for 7, but hasn't been worse than second, more than once throughout his career so far. Has to work from post 9 tonight, but obviously JD sticks with that one. And 14-1 on the odds board, not bad. And, the horse that I think is still a big overlay, Greg, is the 8 McWicked time. I mean, you saw that semifinal event. He got away 9th off the board and then rushed to the lead, mixed it up on the engine before fading back to 10th, but they entered him back in. And obviously when only 10 horses enter and he's one of them, he gets a spot in the final now, and I don't think he's at a place in here at 26-1.
And a horse that really, I thought, stepped up and raced better last time and has been going in the right direction in the last couple of starts is A Star Was Born for Dr. Ian Moore. He was 43-1 last time, so that shows you, how he was looking on paper coming in, but he was in the mix all the way. He left, and he was in the early speed, and he was coming back on late, and he held third when all was said and done. So we're at that time in the year, especially with 2-year-olds, that they can progress. If they do anything crazy up front, the one that I think can benefit a Century Komodo, he said back-to-back really eye-catching final quarter rallies in those subsequent starts coming in here.
Yeah, and he's come from so far out of it, right? If he just gets a little bit closer tonight, or like you said, if there's some action on the front end, he might be able to make his way into it for a big piece of it. You said 0 for 7, but a horse that might be, finding his best stride at the right time, taking support in each of his previous efforts, and right now 8-1 on the board. It's
an outstanding group of rookie colt pacers, taking up their positions behind the starting gate. The talk of the tote board, rightly so. T.H. McMurray looking to cap off his 2-year-old campaign with a Grassroots championship. Here's Sugar Doyle with the description of race 8.
Sir. Stonebridge Thrill, D.A. McDreamy, Wicked Time, Unrivaled Hanover, Wicked Prince is farthest out. 10 noses, all on gate, top of the stretch. Pacers are picking up speed. Here they come. 2-year-old Colts and Geldings. OSS Grassroots final. Off and pacing. Leaving on out of there, Enforcer. Enforcer to the top along the inside. Vis-a-vis Blue Chip. Up on the wide side travels D.A. McDreamy. In play early for Young. D.A. McDreamy going after Enforcer, though. Enforcer drove on for Christopherou. That has the pocket opening up for D.A. McDreamy. Still out there, left out there. And driving up third, Unrivaled Hanover. Unrivaled Hanover going forward, following a quarter mile of 27 seconds flat. So settling in the early going here to a front-end mission. Unrivaled Hanover at 16-1. Enforcer pockets up in second. D.A. McDreamy looks at it from third. Vis-a-vis Blue Chip is racing fourth and gets positioned to the outside now. Trevor Henry rousing that one up towards the half-mile marker. Staying in there fifth was A Star Was Born, underway at a 6. Travels the favorite, T.H. McMurray. That'll be cover for Stonebridge Thrill. Off the back end as they move into the far turn was Wicked Time on the inside. The closer, Century Komodo. And trailing, we've got Wicked Prince over the half and 55-3 being pressed along. Unrivaled Hanover by Vis-a-vis Blue Chip. Inside, traveling third, Enforcer at toe up and fourth for T.H. McMurray. Along the inside to be fifth, D.A. McDreamy setting it up third over. Stonebridge Thrill, 3/4 over there in 1:22-4. Unrivaled Hanover is going a big one. Here comes Enforcer from the pocket. Room at the end, D.A. McDreamy. T.H. McMurray doesn't have it tonight. T.H. McMurray ain't gonna happen. Unrivaled Hanover, Enforcer, and D.A. McDreamy. 3 wide across the line. 2 close to call. Enforcer was there with Unrivaled Hanover and D.A. McDreamy in 1:50-2. We need a picture in OSS Grassroots final action.
And wow, what a finish there, and what a mile, 1:50-3. The only part we didn't expect that was T.H. McMurray was not part of that final trio battling for the win. He just didn't have it tonight, did not fire. Enforcer coming up with the trip of the season for him. Did he get there on the far outside? It's dead tight. D.A. McDreamy, I think, had pace, but the stablemate on the lead just had him shut off a little bit to try and come up the inside. So what a photo finish here, and what a way to end off this Grassroots final.
It truly was an incredible finish, and T.H. McMurray really ended up spotted, second over. You're expecting him to kind of tighten up to cover and maybe just waltz around them. Never had it. You could see he just didn't have pace at any point. He faded out of it. We'll see some interesting show prices here. We'll say that because there was a bit of a show pool on T.H. McMurray in there, and you can see those odds on the board there, Greg. No matter what, I mean, we're going to see massive payouts all across the exotic wagers.
All right, the Hall of Famer Chris Christopherou with his second Grassroots title this evening, and reclaiming a little of the old magic here tonight for sure. Nice patient drive. It really worked out. A beautiful trip for this guy who stepped up his game tonight. There's no question about that. This guy, another graduate of the London Classic sale, $35,000 yearling, a son of Big Jim. Another of those hard-hitting Ontario stallions that has produced so many good horses. And here he now has another Grassroots champion, Enforcer. What a time for him to step up with his best trip of the season, and by far his best trip.
Yeah, 50 and 2. He shaves 3 seconds right off his lifetime mark, and gets that second victory. It was a while between drinks for Enforcer, but one that's been in the mix, right? I mean, I remember him in the Battle of Waterloo. He had the second tier. Real tricky trip to navigate from there sometimes. He had to go through traffic before finishing third behind Do Better and Always a Thrill. Both those horses compete at the gold level, and since then, some difficult posts and some trips maybe just weren't to really his liking. But tonight gets the job done for the Hall of Famer, and 17-1 on the odds board.
And it was unrivaled. Hanover just holding second. He raced great, big effort. He did what I thought he could do. And if you told me he was going to go in 150 and 3 tonight and T.H. McMurray was a little bit flat, I would have said, well, he'll probably win by a couple.
Yeah.
And no, he gets picked off. And it could have been his stablemate, D.A. McDreamy, too. He had pace, and Scott Young had to just try and find a spot that wasn't there, and then I think had to grab him up just a little bit. He was that close. So 3 colts that put on quite a show, and they end off the season on a high note. And question marks will now surround T.H. McMurray again, unfortunately, after finishing 5th or 6th there tonight. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But full marks to the win here, Enforcer. And again, that's a big Grassroots double tonight for driver Chris Christoforou. You talked about it earlier. You love this night, and there's a good example why. Unpredictability, great finishes, exciting action.
We saw all those logical horses, right, favorites coming in, and you start to wonder, well, maybe we're not going to see any of those surprises, but they're always lurking there, right? There's always going to be that one that blows up the toe board, and here we are with Enforcer, and not just a long price winner, but long prices all over the place because T.H. McMurray misses the board. And I mean, it's horse racing. That's why they run the race, right? It's not always going to play out the way we think it does. And T.H. McMurray just didn't have it tonight, and opened the door up for some horses that have been racing well all year, but a big payout. So we're going to see very shortly.
And for trainer Greg McNair, a long time one of the kingpins of the Ontario Sire Stakes program. So it's not shocking at all to see him have Enforcer this good tonight and get the win when it counts here this evening. Congratulations to the owners as well. Aaron Waxman, Alan Alber, and David Jarvis all share in the ownership. We've got the inquiry sign lit. I assume they're going to have some going to review the late stages there. And again, you see Scott Young, you're desperately trying to find that clearance on the inside. You're live. It's the Grassroots final. You're trying to get through there. It was obviously tight quarters. So they're likely going to have a look. It looks like he did get inside at least a pylon or maybe more. And then they'll probably try to determine if the 4th place finisher might have been lapped on him, I guess, to see if they'll do anything.
Might have been thinking, too. He probably thought, stablemate in front of me, I'm going to have that room. But you know what? The money's down tonight, right? I mean, even though you got some, common interest there, Jonathan Drury was giving no room on the inside, and Scott Young did definitely go inside a pylon or two trying to get up the combs.
Yep, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way they're supposed to do it. So, what an exciting race, top to bottom, when you look at it here. But, a couple of the others that, we expected to be better. We expected to maybe fire and be heard from, just weren't there tonight. And that's what you see with 2-year-olds. It's a long season for these guys. There's a bit of wear and tear. They're only youngsters, and some get better as the season wears on. Others regress. Others have peaks and valleys. So it's hard to say. So it looks like we did have a placing. We're getting word now that it appears that the 7 was placed 4th, D.A. McDreamy, behind Stonebridge Thrill. So obviously that one was lapped on, and the horse did go inside pylons. Enforcer, son of Big Jim, a 150 and 3 winner. We're going to hear from the winning connections here in just a moment. What a fun night it has been so far. Again, I want to remind people, we'll just take this quick moment to leave us a comment tonight. We always love hearing where everybody is tuning in from, and it's amazing that our viewers come from really all over the world, and that's been the case again tonight, so we really appreciate you joining. everyone who does leave us a comment tonight, you're eligible to win that OSS hoodie. Let's hear now from the winning connections of an exciting 8th race final.
Pretty good. He's a bit of a lazy guy, and Chris Matthews, his assistant trainer, told me, he said, if you think he's done, he's not. Like, he'll give you a little more if you keep pushing. So we kept pushing, and he got there.
You know, looking at the lines, I mean, he really didn't come within close of a T.H. McMurray. I mean, realistically, did you think that you were going to be able to kind of beat a colt as talented as him?
This time of year, you never know. These colts, they get tired or they can get a bit sick. Little things can pop up. So, you're never out of it. If you got a horse that is competitive, you're never really out of it for sure.
Another drive that you pick up for Greg McNair with Dougie out of town. Got it done with what you're looking at in a gold. You get it done here in the Grassroots final with Enforcer. We're looking at maybe you're the go-to guy now for Greg?
I'm the Kirk Gibson for Greg McNair's stable.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you.
Chris Christopher, Enforcer, Greg McNair get it done in the OSS Grassroots final.
All right, well played, Chris Christoforou. And there's a look at the mutual returns. That's what happens when you get a big favorite right out of it. Nice pays both in the win and place department.
Yeah, no show betting. I was wrong. The money came into place on T.H. McMurray. We would have probably saw a massive show pool if there was. But look at that Superfecta. Absolutely incredible payout there. $1,342.70 for just a 20-cent bet. Obviously difficult to find, but we said these nights usually bring the upsets at some point.
And a placing as well. Stonebridge Thrill moved up to 3rd, and that'll increase the payday for that one. D.A. McDreamy, bit of tough luck for that one, but nonetheless, another good effort from him as well here this evening in a colt with a bright future. We have 6 races down, 2 more to go. When we come back, we'll focus on 3-year-old colt trotters next.
The racing is fast and exciting at the picturesque Woodbine and Woodbine Mohawk Park racetracks in Ontario, Canada. Woodbine Standardbred, home of the Pepsi North America Cup, a summer classic.
Pebble Beach in Iran.
And Woodbine Thoroughbred, home of the historic King's Plate.
But the mighty filly has devastated them.
Full fields, exotic wagers, iconic events. Play Woodbine Thoroughbred and Woodbine Standardbred today at your favorite wagering location.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
Here's a look at the field for the upcoming 3-year-old colt and gelding trot in Grassroots Championship night here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. What an exciting night it has been so far, and that always seems to be the case on this evening. The races this evening not disappointing to this point in time. We have no idea what's in store for us tonight. What we can tell you is we got an even money shot here from post 10. His name is New Rules. A horse that last year raced in the Grassroots Championship in the 2-year-old category. He was at odds of almost 9-1 that night, so it kind of tells you what his form was like coming in. He made a miscue, finished 10th. What a difference a year makes.
Oh yeah, he's been absolutely lights out this season, and I don't think, even with that outermost post, is going to really bother him. He's a versatile type. Typically likes to get to the front end at some point in the mile, but when he minds his manners, he's at a different level, Greg, and it's no surprise at all. Even from that difficult post, he's even money.
And there's a look at what he has done this season. 6 wins on his resume, $113,000 banked. Marcel Barrio, the trainer, had a runner-up finish earlier tonight with Grandeur Sealster. We'll see if New Rules can cap off what has been a fantastic 3-year-old campaign. Let's take a look back at the other elimination winner from a week ago, Resolve to Win, and Scott Young was in the driver's seat on this occasion. A horse that had been a while between victories. The public was all over him on this occasion, and he came up big.
Yeah, he really was. You know what? It's interesting because he's a horse that kind of all season's been in the mix, and then in the semifinal, he stepped his game up and he won by a couple enough margin. You see Scott Young get a little bit busy here, but he kind of worked hard throughout that mile, so no surprise he needed some urging to get to the wire. Went off at even money on that occasion. It'll be a bigger price tonight, but been a model of consistency, right? 11 on the board finishes in 12 tries at the age of 3.
So here he is getting it home on this occasion to win. And he holds sway with the 29-1 last quarter to win in 54-4. Conversely, New Rules, he was home in 28-1 and not really under much urging to do it. But big difference in post positions here tonight. New Rules second in the point standings behind Resolve to Win, who's had an excellent season. A couple of other ones are on the page there, including Deadline Hall and Light Chaos. They'll both be competing here in the final. Right now, we're going to hear from the driver of New Rules, just ahead of Post Parade, Austin Sorey, standing by with Jamie.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, I have Austin Sorey here with me, leaving from post 10 with New Rules in the Grassroots final. Kind of a tough post position for this guy.
Yeah, it's just where you got to start, don't matter where you finish, right?
Yeah, exactly. A great optimism coming in. How has he kind of progressed this season for you? You've been on the bike here for a while with him. How have you seen him progress this year?
He's come a long way from 2-year-old to 3-year-old year, and even all summer he's just turned to a really nice horse now.
And how is he out on the track, just mannerisms, compared to the others?
He's a sweetheart on the track. You can do anything you want with him. Just nice, cool, calm, and collective.
Well, I'll let you grab the lines here. Good luck tonight.
Perfect. Thank you.
Nice to hear from Austin Sorey, the man who will try and engineer the win from post 10. So yeah, this is a big moment for a guy like Austin, right? He's a young guy. He's still trying to really make his mark and break in here in a big way. A little bit of pressure, right? Post 10, but you've got the horse that's expected to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a look right now at the one rough, tough tested for Tyler Borth and Blake McIntosh. Decent campaign this year, just under 50,000 made. Has hit the board in 9 of 15.
DW's point man, number 2, winner of more than $250,000. A lot of that coming last year. Just hasn't come back the same horse this year. 1 for 9 entering tonight, and he was 5th in his Grassroots semi a week ago.
Here's the 3. The great reset, a chestnut son of Resolve, and he's been a consistent performer throughout the season with 11 on the board, finishes in 17 tries, and was equally consistent at 2 with 9 out of 13. He's got just under 75,000 made in his career, working from post 3.
Another consistent performer from post 4, Deadline Hall, 3rd in the point standings this year. Matt Bax trains. Chris Christoforou looking for a 3rd Grassroots Championships this evening.
The 5 PL Quinella for Jonathan Drury and Matt Dupuis. Just 2 for 13 on the season, but does get to work from the center of the gate.
Tyler Moore trains. Number 6, Kinder Think Twice. Sylvain Filion on the bike. Just 1 for 11 this year, but a 154-3 winner earlier in the campaign.
7 is Like Chaos, a horse that's got 9 victories on the season from 21 tries. Has hit the board in 12 of those efforts. Has Trevor Henry aboard for Bruce Richardson.
We just saw Resolve to Win a moment ago. The Grassroots elimination winner a week ago. Light the Candles there, 9. Travis Cullen picks up that drive for Sean Stacey, and there is New Rules completing the field, and he's 4-5. Now, what do you do, Rob, based on traditionally what we see on this night, what we've already seen this evening? You're a horse player, and when you get to this point in the night, what do you do with a 4-5 shot from post 10 in a final like this?
Yeah, you know what? I can't play against him, Greg. I've kind of been in love with this horse throughout the season. You know what was really impressive was step up to the gold level and race on the Grand Circuit, a couple of good 4th place finishes at long odds, and then of course got back to the winner's circle and back-to-back efforts in the Grassroots. So I know it's post 10, but he's got that tactical speed, and you never know, right? There could be some misbehaviors behind the gate that might help him a little bit off the switch, but obviously tough to bet him to win. Maybe play some exotics. The 8 Resolve to Win was just on the gallop there, right? Not something I usually like to see. So maybe, you try to say, you know what, we'll try to put some prices underneath the 10 New Rules.
I was going to ask you, when you see a horse doing that prior to going to the gate, how much weight do you put into it? I mean, it's not what you want to see.
No.
But sometimes the horse can fool you, right? You see that,
Oh,
you
yeah.
jump off them, they go out and they're fine.
Yeah,
Or the other way around.
It's true, yeah, and sometimes it's just a mannerism that you typically see from the horse. Now, I don't really remember seeing that very often rated up post-grade for Resolve to win. Looking better right now. He's a real handsome-looking son of Resolve, isn't he? Look at him on the track right now, looking great at this moment. And you know he's going to take that support. I mean, he's been one that's been a big-time player in the division throughout the season. But, you know, I do think that odds discrepancy should be there right now, and it's no fun playing a couple of favorites, right? You always want to try to get a price in underneath, and again, he might go out there and behave himself when it's go time, as many of them do, but again, you got to try to find some value somewhere.
In regards to his body language last week in that semifinal elimination, I just thought, you know, Scott Young was really asking him in that final quarter, and it was 29-1, and by today's standards, you know, 29 seconds is a little bit soft on the end of the mile. So, if you're going by that, you might think he'd be vulnerable here tonight. New rules, on the other hand, I thought looked fairly well in hand. And we should be trying to look at maybe some others that can sneak in there and upset, because we've already seen that tonight. A couple that jump out at me are the Great Reset and Deadline Hall, and they're both right up there in the standings. So they've been players in this division all season long.
Yeah, they both have, and they both got something that I love, which is that early foot off the gate, so they'll likely get into a good position. And with the right kind of trip, I think either one of them can be right there underneath. The one that, you know, kind of caught my attention before last week's effort at a big price, and then I thought raced really well, finishing fourth. The new rules was the 6. Kinder Think Twice, and this is just now the second start for trainer Tyler Moore. And, you know, I just thought that, you know, we saw some progression from that one last time out, and another step forward from the winningest post tonight at Mohawk Park might land this one a big piece of it, and 22-1. That's the kind of number I'd like to put under a 6-5 shot.
Yeah, you're right. He raced well last week. Another that raced pretty well was Like Chaos. He, I think, as expected, left and was one of the early leaders last time from post 9, then took a shuffle and kind of got backed up and never really got a chance to get clearance until it was late. I'm not sure how much trot he ultimately had, but either way, his momentum was shut off. He's a nice, big, strong colt as we get a look at him on screen. Yeah. And he likes to get into the flow and get rolling. And he's had a real nice campaign. He's 9 for 21. He's got more than 100,000 banked. It's been a long campaign, though, for him. You know, it was early in the spring. He won on Camlock Classic night. He won a City of London final, and he's held his form remarkably well. So maybe just your assessment on his effort from a week ago.
Oh, I thought it was good. You know, you said he got shuffled back, still, you know, finished a decent fourth. And it's hard to believe, you know, you got one at 8-1 right now. Like you said, it has been a long campaign for him, but he's got the most wins, and he's second in earnings with 104,000. So, you know, and Trevor Henry, you know, no stranger to getting the job done in the OSS Grassroots on nights like tonight, and wouldn't be surprised to see him get on the board at some point, and it's got to be soon, and maybe it'll be right here with the 7 Like Chaos.
4-5, the public has not been dissuaded in the least on new rules. They think he can get it done here from post position number 10 and put a stamp, an exclamation point, if you will, on what has been an outstanding 3-year-old campaign. The son of looks like a Chippendale, looks to make it a 3rd straight win here with Austin Sorey in the driver's seat. They are lining up for the 3-year-old colt and gelding trot back up to Sugar Doyle.
DW's Point Man, the Great Reset, Deadline Hall, PL Quinella, Kinder Think Twice, Like Chaos, Resolve to Win, Light the Candles, New Rules at even money from the outside, post 10, top of the stretch. It's the 3-year-old trotting Colts and Geldings OSS Grassroots final. Here they come. Off and trotting, the Great Reset. Next door, Deadline Hall. Christoforou has another one in play here in the early going. It's going to be Deadline Hall bringing them by the line. First time, they're about 4 across. In behind, led by the Chestnut. Resolve to Win for the answer, sailing up close. Though protecting an inside lane, the other Chestnut, the Great Reset, wants a pocket ride here on by the quarter mile. Zipped right along in 26-3. Deadline Hall on top by a length and 3/4. The Great Reset for the trip in second. Up on the outside, race favorite from that 10 hole has been out all the way thus far through quick fractions. That is New Rules going forward for Austin Sorey at even money. He's going to pay the cost to be this boss up to the half-mile marker. New Rules does take control as the half clocks up quick in 56-1. Deadline Hall in second. The Great Reset third. Out there in fourth, Like Chaos. Now shuffled fifth for Resolve to Win. Toe up in sixth. There goes Kinder Think Twice, setting it up third over. We've got Borth underway out of the backfield with Rough, Tough, Tested. Shuffled back there, PL Quinella off the back end. DW's a Point Man. And then it's way back to a struggling Like the Candles. 125-3 for 3/4. So New Rules, what does he have left? New Rules to bring him through the stretch. Like Chaos, who was looking so fine on parade. He's on to take second. Closing up quickly. Kinder Think Twice at a big price is coming up against the New Rules. New Rules is almost there, though. Kinder Think Twice wants an upset. Kinder Think Twice up in time. New Rules finishes second, 153-3. Another new mark at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Fillion on board for more. Kinder Think Twice at 25-1.
A night of upsets continues. Kinder Think Twice getting it done from off the pace. Let Go at 25-1. So kind of snuck under the radar of most of the horse players. Not so much for you, though, Rob. You were talking about this guy just prior to the race going posted. My question is, how many times did you have him to win at 25-1?
Not enough. No, not enough. You know what? In the Horse Players Journal, this was the horse that I slotted in the second spot underneath New Rules, and I saw him posted up second over. I said, oh, he's going to be a real big force come this stretch, because last time, first over a long way, I thought he raced incredible. And here we go tonight. Sylvain Fillion puts him in the perfect spot, and he gets past a horse that got used really hard, right? That's the difference tonight. New Rules had to work for it, and like Sugar said, what does he have left in the tank? Well, he raced really well for a horse that got used that hard in the early stages, but could not hold off the late strides of Kinder Think Twice.
Yeah, great call on Kinder Think Twice. You were all over this guy, and just the second start for new trainer Tyler Moore. He's done a nice job with the youngster, son of Wheeling and Dealing, who gets it done here. Michael Hall of Ocean City, Maryland is the new owner, and it's Sylvain Fillion engineering that perfect second over trip. New Rules take nothing away from the effort. He went his race, but tonight, post 10 was the difference. You're right. Just had to work that extra bit in the opening half to clear to the lead. Even though he got kind of a breather in the third quarter, the damage is done by that point when you park through that kind of a quarter and don't clear until the half. And, he did have a bit left in the tank. It took a good effort from Kinder Think Twice to go by him.
Yeah, no, it's one of those ones where, again, he raced fantastic, all things considered, but you said that opening quarter, even with that middle panel breather, it still ends up taking the starch out of him. I mean, they were wide to that opening turn. He kind of just stayed out there. I think he kind of thought about maybe tucking in for a bit, but at that point, listen, you're in the favorite, you're in the dominant force in the division, you're going to drive onto the lead and make your own luck, and that's what Austin did, and just got beat by one that got the better trip and that was ready for a big effort tonight.
The Great Reset for Lorne House had a nice ground-saving trip. He didn't shake loose until very late, but he gets out and picks up another nice payday and finishing third in Deadline Hall. The other horse that had been right up there in the point standings all season long, he finishes fourth for driver Chris Christoforou. But it's Kinder Think Twice with a sparkling new mark tonight as well of 153-4 as he gets adorned with the winner's blanket, those beautiful Ontario Sire Stakes blankets that are being presented tonight. A bundle of carrots as well for Kinder Think Twice, and the hardware, of course, to the Winning Connections. Very happy Winning Connections here this evening. And that looks like Nancy Moore, I believe, with the carrots, Tyler's mom. So she's out with Tyler, and it'll be a happy Winner's Circle celebration.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you get a horse for just a couple of starts, right? And I mean, this is what you're looking for when you get one under your care, like Kinder Think Twice late in the season. get into the finals. He does that by finishing 4th last time in the semifinal, and then wins tonight at a monstrous price. But really hope we get to hear from Tyler more. He's got to be pretty excited.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Tyler driving more than just training, so it's interesting. He's a new trainer in this one. Hands over the lines to driver Sylvain Filion. And I believe Tyler's heading back to the winner's circle. So, I think we're going to hear from him in just a moment. Very exciting night, Rob, so far. And, it's so tough, right? It was tough to pick against a horse like New Rules there, but you knew the way things were going tonight, and especially with post 10, anything could happen.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, it's a tough spot to start from. I mean, it's the dreaded 10 hole for a reason, and even if you are a dominant horse like that, it can get the best of you. Look at those payouts, Greg. I mean, I'm looking up and down there. Look at that. How about
you won't sleep tonight.
What's that?
I said, if you miss the boat on this horse, you're not going to sleep tonight.
No, I mean, we get a little bit, but it's not enough. It's you always could be more. But 52.40 on the win ticket on Kinder Think Twice, and how about that exacta? $1 exacta with the big favorite second, 82.90.
Yeah, that's a very nice return. Even the 20-cent superfecta, $637 and change. The dollar ticket, well over $3,000. As promised, here's the winning connections from race 9.
Kinder Think Twice gets it done in this OSS Grassroots final for 3-year-old trotting colts. I'm here with winning trainer Tyler Moore. Tyler, this is your first training win since 2017. Now, how does it feel to get a job done on the training side?
Oh, it's very great. It's been a while since I've really trained anything, so it's very exciting.
Tell us about the backstory about how you got this colt. You've only had him for 2 starts, and he gets the job done tonight.
Well, the owner of my call has, I think he has a couple even right now with my dad. They've had a bit of a relationship over the last few years, so he had called my dad asking for him to take them, and he kind of has too many, so he just kind of offered them up to me, I guess. I've actually never spoke to my call, but anyway, so I've only had the horse for barely 2 weeks, I think, so. But obviously he's been great, and we really enjoy having him. He's a pleasure in the barn, and he's obviously a really nice horse, and I was really surprised tonight, but he certainly strutted his stuff.
What were Sylvain's thoughts maybe coming off the bike? He did it the hard way last time, but kind of got rejected by New Rules. Tonight sat a trip and got it done. How happy were you with his first start out in the elimination?
Very happy. I wasn't sure what to expect. I really didn't get time to do much with him, and I had no idea what he was really going to provide with us. So, and when he raced last week, I was very, very impressed, and I was just hoping for a similar result, at least to be in the race as big and race good like he did. But like, he really threw it all out there, and he was amazing, and I was really, really impressed tonight again. So.
I believe this is your first training win, though, here at Woodbine Mohawk Park, right?
I would say so, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty good time to get it done, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Congratulations, Tyler.
Thank you.
All right, Kinder Think Twice, Tyler Moore, Sylvain Filion, get it done in this OSS Grassroots final.
Congratulations, and nice job, and chip off the old block, Dad Ian, of course, one of the premier trainers in Canadian harness racing, and Tyler going to get done here, and they're a nice recruit to the barn, and geez, it's going to be fun to watch him go forward from here. We don't know what we'll see from him down the road. Yeah. It's hard to say.
I mean, they're playing with house money, though, right? I mean,
absolutely.
You have the horse for 2 starts. You're an OSS Grassroots champion. I mean, at this point, it's all gravy.
All right, we are getting ready to save what we hope will be the best for last. The Glamour Boy division of the Grassroots division here this season. The 3-year-old colt and gelding pacers are going to be back to wrap things up for us tonight. A full field of 10 in our final championship event of the night.
Enjoy the thrill of the race anywhere, anytime with HPIBet.com. Join for free and use your smartphone, tablet, or PC to watch and wager when you can't be at the track. Stream live racing from over 450 tracks. Bet with ease from anywhere. It's safe and secure. Get rewards, race alerts, tips, and more. For a limited time, get $100 when you become a member. Plus, 1 month free live race streaming, and your first bet is on us. Go to HPIBet.com to join for free today.
By now, you know the name Cosa-Tv, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. Cosa-Tv has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out HPIBet.com. Cosa-Tv, taking Ontario racing global.
There's the winner's circle, the Winback Farm winner's circle. That's where the connections of all 10 of these pacers will be hoping to be standing in a few moments from now. It is the Grassroots Championship for $75,000 for 3-year-old colt and gelding pacers. And the talk of the tote board, not surprisingly, is Win Me Back for the powerful Miller Farms. Trainer Nick Gallucci. Scott Young picks up the drive here this evening. Post 2 for this striking-looking chestnut who's been on a bit of a tear lately as well. He's won 3 in a row coming in. Not necessarily the best position to be in, though, is it?
No.
Coming into tonight.
No, it's not. We've seen a couple in a row now go down to defeat, at a short price, on that roll you just mentioned. But Win Me Back, the different horse since adding Lasix, right? I mean, that's really kind of turned everything around for him, and he's been such a dominant force since then. Of course, Bob McClure was supposed to pick up the drive with James McDonald being in Dayton. He didn't make it back from Kentucky. Scott Young now picks up a live steer at a horse that's going to likely be a hefty favorite.
Yeah, and a big difference for this guy, a post 2 start tonight. We're going to take you back and show you a replay. A recent replay. Speaking of the colt, we're going to take you to Rideau Carleton for this one earlier this summer from Rideau, and check out this mile from Win Me Back on this night off a 56 1/2. That's him rumbling up on the outside to the lead here in this Grassroots contest. Throws down a wicked third quarter, 27 1, and just keeps on rolling. He'll polish things off here with a 26 2 final quarter to win in 50 and change. That's an incredible mile over that 5/8 mile track.
And the body language right from James McDonald, never moved a muscle on him. I mean, it's been incredible, right? Since he's gone on that medication, he's just been a different horse. He's always one that showed, ability, but since adding Lasix, just been a different horse. And you can see right there, he's been the kingpin of the division. 200 points. Leading right now over Leave It to Leo, who actually ended up missing getting into the final.
Yeah, I was going to say his papa Shadow Play was a flashy-looking individual, and he's passed that on to his chestnut son, Win Me Back. Once again, we're going to head into the paddock. Jamie McDonald has another special guest.
Travis Cullen joins us now, driving for Jody Cullen. Family affair here, not too bad. Leaving from post 6 with Palladium Hanover. We got Sylvan being funny here in the background, but it's all fun and games here before they get on the track. How about once you're on the track? How do you get into that, ready to go mindset?
You just got to go out there and do your best. We're all friends off the track, but on the track you got to do your best and follow the best horse and give your horse the best chance to win.
And this colt's been doing really well the last 3 starts. Obviously had some time off after that fall midsummer, but qualified back and has been really strong the last few starts.
Yeah, we took our time bringing him back. He's a nice little horse. He tries as hard as he can, so that's the main good thing about him.
And is there a typical, personality he has on the barn versus the track?
He's very, very laid back, but when he's in behind the gate, he's not like that.
Perfect. Well, hopefully he's got some speed for you as you go out here. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nice colt. He's a 4-time winner this year, and Palladium Hanover, 1 of 9 that's going to try and knock off the mighty Win Me Back here in our last Grassroots Championship of the night. While we have a moment in the interview there, we saw driver Travis Cullen with the orange armband. A lot of drivers wearing those this evening, and some of our viewers have been asking what that's about. You might have noticed even colleague Robert Reed with the orange T-shirt on here this evening, Robert, so maybe you can tell the folks what that's about.
Yeah, Truth and Reconciliation Day, right? A day to reflect, on what happened in our history, the residential school system, and what happened to Native students, right? So great to see many people, here today wearing orange shirts, not just the drivers wearing the armbands, but many fans in the grandstand, suporting that cause, wearing their orange shirts.
All right. So, and again, we want to thank our viewers, some of whom were asking about that. And again, welcome everybody tuning in here this evening. You've still got some time. If you're just joining us, make sure to leave us a comment tonight. Maybe tell us who you like in the last race here, or what your highlight has been so far here this evening. Everybody will be entered for a chance to win one of those OSS hoodies. Let's meet the field for our finale. Muffaraw Joe, number 1, Austin Sori on board for trainer Murray Breather. Better than Cheddar Gelding, a runner-up in his Grassroots Elim a week ago.
There's the 4-5 favorite, the 2, Win Me Back. Scott Young picks up the drive for Nick Galucci, 6 for 11 on the season, just under 69,000 made.
One of several starters sent out tonight by trainer Sean Stacey. They've had a good night at the office. Ahi Sunshine, number 3, a Sunshine Beach colt with Jonathan Drury doing the driving.
The 4 is Tignanello, Tyler Jones, and Sean Stacey. 1 for 11 on the season. 4 top 2 finishes, just under 19,000 made.
Couple of races back, trainer Greg McNair scored the big upset with Enforcer. He's going to try and do the same thing here with number 5, The Moment Arose. Trevor Henry on board.
And we just recently heard from the driver, number 6, Travis Cullen. Palladium Hanover for Jody Cullen. Has had a good season with 9 on the board finishes from 17 tries, 65,000 made. Has rebounded nicely since being involved in an accident in Clinton Raceway on July the 9th.
Sylvain Filion goes for back-to-back wins. He's on board number 7, Santana Hanover, another son of Big Jim.
The 8 Arts Alive is a 38-1 long shot right now, driven by Jody Jameson, trained by Dwayne Marfisi. 6 on the board finishes, 33,000 made.
Liberty Royal is the number 9 in the field. Travis Henry is going to get the drive here for this Vicky Gregg trainee, owned by Ross Family Farms of Wingham, a son of Royal Majesty. Just 1 for 15, though, on the season.
Rounding out the field from that tricky 10-hole is Troubles of Ruin with Tyler Borth for Anthony Beaton. 11 on the board finishes, just under 60,000 made for this son of Better Than Cheddar.
All right, that is your field. Win Me Back is 1 to 4 now on the board, on some kind of a roll. And the son of Shadow Play, if he emerges victorious here, is going to go over the $100,000 mark in seasonal earnings. Jamie McDonald, she's been busy all night long and catching up with many of the competitors in the paddock area. She's over trackside now. We're going to bring her in here for the final race. Just your thoughts on the night, Jamie, and your thoughts on this last race of the evening.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a great night so far, and the favorites aren't always holding on, which is kind of fun to see. They've all been really finishing well, and it's been a phenomenal, it's a bettor's kind of choice, bettor's luck tonight. The one I kind of like is the 7, Sylvain Filion is driving, Santana Hanover, sent out by Richard Moreau. This one, I was kind of just walking on my way out, and I was talking to Sylvain, and I said, you've had kind of a quiet, good night tonight. And he agreed. He said he's had a fairly good night. He's been happy with most of his drives, and of course, looking to double up here with a win. And this one can come home fairly good, fairly quick. Like 2 starts ago, 26-4 that last quarter. So he's got a good kick to come home. I kind of like the 7 in this one.
And we should ask you too, just before you sign off here this evening. Now you're going to be busy. You and Curtis are heading down to Lexington, I believe, tomorrow, correct? So you've been kind of doing double duty tonight, right? Getting directions for the babysitters and getting all the details ironed out. What's happening down in Lexington?
Yeah, we're going to leave tomorrow morning. We're actually going down with the stable.ca with Anthony and Amy McDonald. So we did the same thing last year. We cover kind of who people are interested in, whether it's buyers, trainers, owners, or consigners, kind of who their favorites are, what they're looking at. Everyone kind of looks for different price points. Obviously, the week starts out fairly high, so not everybody can afford, the Monday horses, but they're there to check them out. And you're right, tonight, double duty. A lot of the trainers are already actually down in Lexington looking at these yearlings. So they're not really in the paddock and around tonight, which is kind of too bad because it's been a crazy night here and phenomenal racing. So they're missing, the Grassroots finals. But of course, they're looking for those next champions for next year.
And a lot of them are actually tuning in tonight. So, great job, Jamie, and best of luck down there. Have a great trip. And yes, we want to say hi to the folks who are tuning in that are down at the Red Mile. Of course, Grand Circuit Racing, which coincides with the Lexington sale. It's really the granddaddy in terms of quality when it comes to yearling sales in North America. It's a fun time of year. Of course, we're excited. A couple of weeks from now, we'll have our second edition of the London Classic yearling sale. Really excited about the catalog this year, and we've been seeing videos come in daily and updating those on the website, and boy, there are some impressive looking individuals. And it's nights like tonight that people are looking to compete in, and I'm excited too because we're going to have a lot of really cool updates going into the London sale this year, and we've seen a few of them tonight. So by the time we get there, and then we've got super finals as well, there'll be some impressive updates to siblings of horses that are going to be selling in a couple of weeks, and probably going to be bringing in some nice prices.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, these are the kind of races, and winning yourself a grassroots final or a super final boosts the value, right? Absolutely. This is what it's all about, right? Getting to a night like tonight, that's kind of the dream when you buy one as a yearling.
So we've got a good-looking field of 10 getting ready to go postward here in a moment. I asked you in race number 9, would you play against new rules or not? I'll ask you one more time. Win Me Back. Can they beat him? We've seen long shots tonight, but is this one just a little bit too head and shoulders at this point?
He's been so good, but you know what? I'm actually with Jamie. If I was going to try to beat Win Me Back here at 1-4, which is a price I'll never bet, win on a horse. You can't do that. I mean, it's not a positive play long term, that's for sure. It's the 7th, Santana Hanover. I thought he kind of raced under the radar in his semifinal, and he's going off on an overlay price right now at 11-1. I mean, he's a horse that's had a good season, and I think that this might be a spot he steps up. We see Sylvain Filion put them in the right spots already tonight. Might do it one more time.
All right, we just had a look at the Moment of Rose again. Greg McNair clicked with Enforcer earlier tonight in what was a big upset, and it would be the same case scenario here for the Moment of Rose from post number 5. Okay, I'm just listening to Sugared Oil there. I wasn't sure if there was something being announced here. It looks like they are taking another turn, so I was just trying to catch what he was saying. For me, if I was going to take a shot, I might go right next door to Win Me Back, Ahi Sunshine. This horse at times has shown a world of ability. He was one of the top 2-year-olds last year. He went 5 for 10. Hasn't been as productive this season, but had a bit of time off there and came back, re-qualified sharply, and then a really good runner-up to Palladium Hanover last time. Came from a long way back. Getting back kind of on a regular rotation here. You never know.
And he absolutely crushed his competition in his first grassroots race of the season. He had a margin of almost 10 lengths before winning by nearly 7. A long time has, obviously come since then, but maybe this is where he rebounds his way back to the winner's circle in a big spot.
Our last grassroots championship of the night. Sugared Oil doing a wonderful job in the booth this evening. He's got the call of our 10th race, 3-year-old colt and gelding pace.
Tignanello, the Moment of Rose, Palladium Hanover, Santana Hanover, Arts Alive, Liberty Royal, Troubles of Bruin. Those are the 10. All noses on gate, top of the stretch. Pacers are picking up speed. Here they come. The OSS Grassroots Final. 3-year-old colt and gelding Pacers. They're off. It's on. Gunning from an outside gate. Troubles of Bruin, and Tyler Borth teeing this one up in the early going. Will grab control on by the line first time. And it's going to be Santana Hanover moving up at the wide side for Sylvain to be up close. And quickly into that opening turn, Santana Hanover dives into a lead. The son of Big Jim grabs control, and now it's pylon position by the quarter. Get this, 25-3 for a fired up Santana Hanover. It's Troubles of Bruin in second. Quickly now, Palladium Hanover underway at a third. Now second and going for the lead. Win Me Back is underway for the answer. The Chestnut is in play at 1-5. He's got to go on. This is Win Me Back going to the top, and here comes the halftime panel. Half clocking up for Win Me Back in 54 seconds flat for this 1-5 shot. Palladium Hanover is second, Santana Hanover third, and traveling on the outside in fourth. That is Arts Alive. Along the inside to be fifth, the earliest leader. Troubles of Bruin getting shuffled. Towed up into it, the Moment of Rose. Setting it up third over. Liberty Royals coming on. Mufferaw Joe shuffled way back. Then it's Ahi Sunshine trailing Tignanello. Here's 3/4. Hit me 120. 3, 2 flat into the stretch, and it's Win Me back at 1 to 5, trying to seal this deal. Palladium Hanover, a peek to the outside again. Palladium Hanover striding up for Cullen. Along the inside, Santana Hanover could be down to these two. Win Me back, all in. Palladium Hanover trying to take his heart away. Palladium Hanover, Win Me back, 2 on the line. Win Me back, fights on back for the answer to win OSS Grassroots final in 150-4.
Oh boy, what a finish in our last event of the night. It looked like another was going to play Giant Killer, but Win Me back just digging in for everything he had. He didn't have a whole lot left in the tank after those torrid fractions, 3/4 and 122. It looked like Palladium Hanover was just going to get him in the last jump, but Win Me back does appear to get his nose to the wire first. Full marks for the win, and boy, it was a lot harder than I think a lot of people expected it to be.
And you know what I mean? That's the way it's supposed to be, right? It's the Glamour Boy division. We're supposed to see these horses send us off with an incredible performance, and that's what happened right there. I mean, I honestly thought Palladium Hanover was going by pretty much at every point in the stretch drive until he didn't. And Win Me back, you know, digging deep there. Scott Young getting every ounce out of this one. He's been in tremendous form, but he got taken to the test tonight and still looks like he holds on by a nose with the wire.
And for a horse to be able to upend him tonight, it was going to take some battling and some hot early fractions for him to get softened up a little bit. And it was Palladium Hanover who did that. He really made his own trip, and he had to work very hard. You have to give him high marks. You know, he did everything but win.
Yeah, and Travis Cullen, right? I love the way he drives, right? An aggressive driver, and he stretched out Win Me back, you know, just enough, you know, take the starch out of a horse, and then you go try to get him in the stretch. But, you know, Win Me back's just been too good, too confident. He's been on an incredible roll. Like I said, ever since adding Lasix, he's been a different horse, and tonight he converts as the 1-4 favorite. Probably the favorite players probably pulling their hair out in the stretch there, right? We saw 2 go down, and it looked like we were going to see a third until Win Me back dug deep for the victory.
And boy, what a shot that would have thrown into the late pick 5, right? Even though Palladium Hanover was only 5-1, not an extreme long shot. But, you know, at this point in that sequence, getting a Win Me back beat at that point would have really you know, had implications, I'm sure, for the payout there. So Scott Young coming into the night, I'm sure when he picked up some of these live drives, was hoping to have a big night, and that's a pair of Grassroots championships for him. A little bit of tough luck earlier. He got placed back with one that was in tight quarters, but a nice way to atone.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was excited about the night. I talked to him, you know, before the card, and he thought obviously he had a big chance with 30 Dancer. And when he picked up Win Me back, he said, wow, you know what? I think I've got 2 in me and maybe a few more. And he drove well all night. I mean, this is a big night for him, big opportunity for Scott. He's a great ambassador for the sport, so I'm happy to see him in the winner's circle.
And just another, you know, sort of ho-hum season, if you will, for a Miller Farms Gallucci trainee. Win Me back. I mean, in a stable with so many powerhouse performers, I wonder if he gets overshadowed a little bit. He doesn't in the looks department, we know that. But, you know, a real nice colt in his own right. That win today puts him over 100,000 this year and over 150,000 lifetime.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you know, I know they love all their horses, right? But you're right. I mean, Grassroots level, they've got some real killers in their barn. And Win Me back, though, you know, like you said, a real good-looking chestnut son of Shadow Play. And who knows what he's got in store now, right? I mean, the way he finished off his sophomore campaign, even at the Grassroots level, who knows what he might be as an age pacer.
And speaking of those connections, earlier tonight, 2nd and 3rd in the Dayton Derby for the female pacers at Dayton Raceway. Grace Hill, she got it done for driver Doug McNair, but Prohibition Legal and Silver Label, 2nd and 3rd respectively. So the outstanding campaign continues for both of those great mares. Win Me back, a very popular winner in our last Grassroots Championship, $2.60. There was no show wagering there. The exotic returns, not shockingly, a little bit on the low side, but I will say that's a nice 20-cent pick 3 just shy of $400 with that heavy favorite in the last leg. All right, we're going to hear from the winning connections of race 10 next.
Might as well be the 6-5 morning line, but it's a good thing he was the best. He held on for a nose for me.
Must be the hands of Scotty, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. He went a pretty big trip. He was parked a long way and tried to get him a bit of a breather, and he fought one off late and bailed me out.
Yeah, talk about the trip, though. Did you decide, maybe the fractions are pretty hot up front. Did you figure that was the best time to go?
I didn't really have much option. I talked to James. He said, like, remove doesn't have to be it. If you want to race him off cover, he'll race good. But there was a guy on the outside of me in the first turn, and I was sitting 5th. I was like, well, might as well try and take my matters in my own hand now.
Were you ever worried when Palladium Hanover Pop Hawkin was coming right at you?
I was. I didn't have a whole lot of soap out the other lane, and when he kind of come out of authority, and I said, well, leave it to me to get this one beat, but he held.
You kicked off the card with the Grassroots win. You close out the Grassroots finals with a win. You had a pretty good night, though.
Yeah, I was unfortunately 3rd place, 4th with McDreamy. If I get through with him, he probably wins. And Resolve to Win didn't have a very good trip, but he got me a 5. And, I'm happy just everybody put me down tonight and just appreciate the opportunity.
It's nice having a little stock, eh?
It helps, buddy. That's for sure.
All right, Scott, just before you let you go, we just want to do a draw here from courtesy of OSS. Winner gets a puffer jacket, actually. So why don't you draw the winning name out of hat?
Ready?
All right.
Donnie.
All right, so Donnie, you're the winner of a puffer jacket. Donnie, you are the winner. So if your name is Donnie, you just won the puffer jacket here, courtesy of Ontario Sire Stakes Racing. So congratulations yet again, Scotty, on a big night. And Scott Young, win me back, get it done in this OSS Grassroots final.
All right, well, congratulations to Scott. Congratulations to Donnie, whoever that is. Yeah. And yeah, anybody named Donnie, don't all come running at once here tonight. Scott Young, a little bit of self-deprecating humor there talking about his night. He's the type that I think will turn the page quickly. Even though he had some bad luck earlier in the night, gets right up off the mat and wins in the finale. And he's the type of guy that I think that attitude or that approach probably serves him well.
Always does, yeah, and that's the thing about this sport, right? I mean, there's always another race coming up. You can't get too down on yourself after the way it goes. And Scott Young, for me, like I said, he's always been a positive light in this sport for me. Always a great guy to talk to. The type of attitude he has, he bounces back from those quickly.
All right, speaking of races coming up, the Dayton Derby is coming up from Dayton, Ohio in just a couple of moments. Right now, though, we're going to take one more commercial break, and we will wrap things up on the other side here on Cosa-Tv.
For over 25 years, Tara Hill Stud has worked with partners to help produce champion stallions. We are proud to have bred great racehorses like Fade Out, Shower Play, Precious Delight, and There's a Demon in Me. Our stallions, past and present, have had tremendous success while making a huge impact on racing across North America. Mr. Levesque, Mach 3, Cadabra, Muscle Mass, and Precious Bunny, to name a few. Our stallions' progeny have won major events, including the Hambletonian. Tara Hill Stud are currently standing 9 of the industry's top stallions. Alarm Detector, Control the Moment, Danson Lou, Flanagan Memory, Green Manalishi, He's Watching, Muscle Mass, Resolve, and Sports Writer. Our facility is modern, our staff knowledgeable. Consider Tara Hill Stud when choosing a home for your stallion. Tara Hill Stud, where champions stand and champion yearlings are raised. Log on to tarahills.com.
Welcome back one more time as we bring you live coverage tonight of our Grassroots Championships. It's been a whole lot of fun tonight. We had 5 of them live, 3 of them on tape, 8 in total. Rob, do you have a highlight from what was an action-packed night?
You know what, for me, it's going to be Kinder Think Twice. I just love the story there, right? Just second start for new connections. You're getting a horse that's, it was probably meant to be, a good horse, maybe falling in hard times, and they turn it around to score a victory in the OSS Grassroots Finals. Tyler Moore hadn't trained one in a very long time, at least one that got to the winner's circle, and then does so tonight. So, happy for the connections, obviously, and looking at that one to see what maybe, they can do going forward.
For me, I don't have one in particular. It's just the night overall. Grassroots Championship night never seems to disappoint. A night of upsets, some favorites coming up with big efforts, lots of great finishes. And, of course, Donnie winning the puffer jacket.
There's about
as well.
17 Donnies lined up right now for that jacket,
That's right.
So good luck.
And we thank you for watching tonight. Don't forget, following the show, we will draw for that OSS hoodie that we're going to be giving away, and we'll announce the winner on our social feeds. A reminder, we'll be back with you in a couple of weeks' time. If you enjoyed tonight, you're really going to enjoy the OSS Super Finals, the best of the best in the Ontario Sire Stakes, one of the best programs in the world. And we will crown our champions on October the 14th. 8 finals, $2.5 million in purse money up for grabs. And then we'll be back in mid-December with another edition of the Christmas Driver Charity Challenge from Western Fair in London. We thank you so much for joining us tonight on behalf of myself, Robert, Jamie, and the crew behind the scenes. So long from Woodbine Mohawk Park, and we'll see you next time on Cosa-Tv.